opportunities that can lay ahead. So in this workshop, we will try to tackle this topic through 2 exercises. The first exercise will be focused on finding out where we stand right now. What are the main challenges we face? What are also the opportunities that we are having ahead? And you will be together with us doing this exercise. We will use a certain tool which is called concept board. We will try to use it. And there I will ask you during this first exercise to be thinking of this topic. What are the key challenges or the opportunities that you see? The first exercise will take 20 minutes. You will be divided in 3 teams. And during these 20 minutes, please, as a team, discuss with each other, get to know each other, but at the end of those 20 minutes, try to come up with those selected challenges or opportunities that you see. After the 20 minutes, the first exercise is ending, we will have an extra 5 minutes that one of you, perhaps you select yourself, will present the findings. Why did you choose whatever you choose in this exercise? What is perhaps the lessons learned that came to your decision, or what is it that you want to share with other teams about your findings? And then after a short polling exercise, because I guess from 3 teams we will have a lot of answers, so we will try to prioritize a little bit and to see what actually what are in your perspective the most the biggest challenges or the biggest opportunities you decide. After that, we will go to the second exercise. Again, 20 minutes. Again, you will be divided in teams. Perhaps not the same teams, but I think that is not a problem for you. It's good to get to know each other much better. And the second exercise will focus on what key skills you think for yourself or your business are necessary in order to tackle those challenges, those opportunities we decided in the first exercise. And I'm looking forward to see how this goes. And after we finalize, so I will be with you in these exercises. After the second exercise is finalized, and we will discuss what key skills have you decided that are needed for these challenges, for these opportunities, for the future. Thinking of your business, what opportunities you see for your business, thinking for yourself professionally, for your upskill, reskill, whatever you think is necessary. So the prioritization at the end will be based on your own approach. What do you think is necessary for you to grow as a sustainability consultant or an expert or an entrepreneur? If there are any questions so far, please, you can unmute yourself. Nobody has any question. Okay, so I guess everybody is clear with the exercise. Good. So I will, before we start, I will demonstrate about this tool that we wanted to use. And you see also in the chat right now that Ioana has put the useful information. Trying to see, to put here exactly what I said before. So perhaps if there is something that you forget or you misunderstood before asking us, you can also have a look in the chat and to see all the details here. For the first exercise, as I mentioned, we will use a tool. This is the concept board. And I'm going to show you right now how to use it. 1 second, I will share my screen with you.
Are you familiar with the concept board, by the way? Have you used it before? Okay, so it's good. It's very intuitive. So
okay, unfortunately, concept board is down for maintenance, so we will go with another tool. You see, things happen, you know, unexpectedly. So it seems that we will go with another tool, which will be Miro.
Well, until Corina is finding the other two, it's quite fascinating. But as a sustainability professionals, I think we face this like almost every day. Things are changing, and there are lots of surprises. Things don't really go according to plan. So
yeah,
no worries.
exactly.
While Corina is looking, we have an alternative tool called Miro, which is similar. I just put the briefing in the chat. So as you split, you will be splitting in 3 groups. So you can follow the briefing from the chat. Okay, so basically in the first 10 minutes, brainstorm as a group, and it's a brainstorm, so put everything on the board. And the next 10 minutes focus on prioritizing which challenges or opportunities do you think are the most important for you, and then come back, and each group will have 5 minutes to present your findings.
Does everybody see my screen right now, or is it visible? Do you see my screen with a board? Say yes or thumbs up if you see it. Yes, okay, or use your head. Yes, very good. So this is a second option actually that we have for the exercise today, because concept board is not working. So Miro, what we will ask you to do during the first and the second exercise is to take a sticky note. You will be in different teams, so you will be divided based on, let's say, colors. And so if you're the team yellow, for example, you can use a yellow sticky note and put it just here. And on this sticky note, you just write one of the, let's say, challenges that you identified as a team. Yes. So at the end of the first exercise, for example, because we are here, you will have 3 sticky notes. Let's say that mean 3 challenges you have seen, or maybe 3 opportunities, or different things. Maybe you choose both challenges and opportunities. So if you're, for example, in another team that has another color, then please choose the color of your team. And again, write in the same exercise. This will be a common board, so you will see what others are making. Yeah, I thought that this would be good, because this can be also some sort of inspiration for you. Maybe you're in the team and you don't know where to start, and you see the time is going by. So perhaps you have a look and just inspire yourself. And then I think that it's also good, because we are here in a collaboration exercise. This is not a competition between teams. So it would be great to see at the end one board with 3 different results, and of course discuss about it. Any questions again? Do you feel good about this? Is it okay for you? Yes, I see people saying yes. Great.
Christian here, quick question. Are we putting down all the ideas, all the points on different post-it first, and then we just summarize the top 3 into the one color?
Yes, exactly. You can do this in the exercise. You have 20 minutes to discuss, to brainstorm, to come up and to choose, those 3 post-its at the end. Yes. So I would suggest that we really work in teams. I will be visiting every team, so I'll move from one team to another. But I would really love that as a team, you first discuss, start seeing what do you see as individually, and then as a team, and try to come up with a result that is satisfying for the entire team. Did I answer your question? Yes.
Corina, if I may add, Christian, you can so you leave, let's say that you have 20 ideas, 20 post-its. As a team, you decide on the 3. You don't need to necessarily highlight them on the board. You can just present them back to the entire group. So the board will have all the ideas, but the discussion will be only on the ones that you choose.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right. The link to this board is in the chat. I just put it before. I guess if there is no further other questions or delays, I would say we are on time, and we could, after that, you wanna divide us in teams, we can start the exercise.
So I'll open the rooms, and you have 20 minutes, and you will get a 2-minute warning. So if you haven't decided, maybe just take those 2 minutes to decide on the three.
Yeah, when the exercise is about to end, yes.
All right.
Okay, then let's not waste any minute longer. I would like to hear from each team, from somebody from the team. Why did you choose the thing you choose, and what are your selections on the board? Who wants to start? Maybe the yellow team?
It's yellow team, red team, and green team, so that you know that's the order of the room. So yellow team, yeah, it's the first to go.
For yellow team, and Stefan, maybe you can add.
Okay.
I think that in terms of prioritization, it went. I think we're pretty much in agreement in what is needed in terms, or what is the key challenge. And what we've discussed is this lack of a broader umbrella of communication skills, in a sense of being able to communicate strategically to businesses and political leaders the benefits of regenerative economy, preserving environmental spaces, and showing the business case for preserving nature. So kind of a strategic business almost language that one might need to adopt to prove the case. And so within that, a sub-skill that Alina mentioned as well is kind of the skills that are needed for sustainability professionals to do that is also a certain degree of math acumen or business acumen in that sense, to be able to actually calculate and prove the benefit cost analysis of sustainable practices or circular practices, or preserving certain natural services as opposed to using them. I think I covered that all, but yeah.
Is it anything left outside, or you covered it, everything? What are the other team members think? Everything is covered, yes?
If we want to, Corina, if you want to do the polling, we need to be a little bit more specific, maybe, like what were the three challenges or opportunities, because there were a lot going on there. So, I heard communication.
Yeah, it's definitely a business acumen, if I heard correctly. Yes, communication.
How to convince business stakeholder to go more into more regenerative economy.
All right, so we have then business acumen and how to go to the regenerative solutions. Then it is communication. It's anyway connected. And the third one is, let me just check. Okay. Okay, now we see it. So great communications and marketing professionals to use their skill in sustainability CSR. Is it correct until now? These are the three things that you have decided. Okay, let's go to next team, the red team. Yes, am I correct? Ivana? Yes.
Yes, red team next.
Please, the red team.
So we had some wonderful debates in our team. We started with the challenges, and we agreed that, we can flip the coin of technology, saying that it's both a challenge and an opportunity, saying that it provides a lot of innovation tools and mechanisms, but in the same time, it is hard to keep up with everything that is new on the market when you speak about sustainability. And also, we find it as being a challenge, the fact that some of the technical concepts that they are being related with sustainability are hard to understand if you do not have an engineering background. Words like decarbonization, carbon credits, carbon neutral, it's hard to understand for somebody who has the will and the passion, but maybe not the technical skills. And also, it is hard to set a common understanding and a common vocabulary because the field is so interdisciplinary that it combines both communication specialists and engineering. So it's hard to set a common ground in terms of, because the angles and the specialists working in this is very diverse. And
so, sorry, what would be the challenge that you see here? Maybe much shorter, because we talked about 3 challenges right now. Is it going to stay like this, or you also have some opportunities to want to add? So maybe we have only 3 at the end. Madalina.
I will ask the team here to help me.
Okay, that would be great. So one challenge maybe I can phrase for you is, again, this understanding of technical concepts that are specific to sustainability, right?
I think we can say yes.
Yes. What I added for the poll is how to keep up with all innovation in sustainability, technical concepts, how to understand, and how to have a common vocabulary. So 3 things.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Okay.
Yeah. Because you, Madalina, and the team, you also had put here opportunities. Is it anything that you want to add from the opportunities point of view? Or do you stay only with the challenges for the polling, for the next exercise?
We will add the opportunity of a common battle and common targets, global targets.
Is this okay for you, Ioana, to add this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, the red team. Let's go to the last team, the green. Who wants to present? Please unmute yourself.
I can present for the green team. Anyone in the team, feel free to interrupt me. So we have listed three key items. One is commitment from the head of a company or from the management of a company, as in move away from tactical and more strategic and complete rethink of the operations. Second one will be a challenge in getting the buy-in from members of staff or public or consumer to change their habits. So it's a buy-in issue, it's a commitment issue from the workers as well as from the consumer. And the third item is overall education around systemic thinking, when and where to take the steps to change. So it's education part.
All right, thank you very much for this outcome.
Anyone from the green team wants to add anything? Okay.
So thank you also for your outcome. It's wonderful that you've all been wonderful in finding out all these challenges and opportunities. Once we have everything, and Ioana can confirm, now we have the option to have a poll. So you see on the screen, the poll contains everything that you've decided. Every team has decided. So it would be a time to vote, to see in your perspective, based on your own prioritization, your business prioritization, which ones you would.
How do they vote, Corina? How do you want?
Well, you vote based on your own understanding. So what do you think it's feasible for you? For example, which is the biggest challenge or the biggest opportunity for you personally?
Do they vote 1 or 3, Corina? Do they vote 1 or 3?
You will think of three of these challenges, opportunities that you see on the screen.
Or think about the results. What comes to your mind when you see them? You can unmute yourself, by the way, so you can jump in.
It's interesting. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface, really. And I think it's a reflection of how many challenges we face, that all of these are relevant, and yeah.
But I think it's interesting that 50% was for overall education and system thinking.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about junior people who want to join the domain. That is very difficult for them because system thinking is something that develops in years, many years. And for junior people, it's very difficult to work in this domain.
So the question, the interesting question there will be, what does it take to embed systemic thinking faster? That's interesting observation. Anybody else who want? Stefan, do you want to say something? Stefan, or just
indeed, education is a key about how to change mind of people, because they are thinking about a linear way, and now they start to think about a circular way. And if we want to implement regenerative solution, they need to understand system and connections that may exist between all the different decisions they make. This is why they have to be open about it. And let's say education is a key. And our actually educational system, I will say here in Belgium, because I know it, I'm a teacher, it's just boring, because we make our pupils linear, like this, and I really don't like it. That's why I'm working also on developing school.
That's an interesting one, Stephen, because when you go back to groups, you can even address something like, okay, it's boring. Is there a skill around making it less boring? It doesn't necessarily have to be fun. Maybe it's just simplified or articulated differently. So that's an interesting one to pick up on. Is there anybody else who wants to, share what they think when they see this this spread?
Yes, I think the next two items that show 42%, the buying in and the commitment from management, are quite related, actually.
Yes.
Had we put one of them, it probably will top education. And if you've been in the corporate world, you would understand that it really takes a lot of persuasion to convince the board about any action to take from a sustainability perspective. And there is a lot of talk about the business case in all sustainability related issues. And if you're a sustainability professional, I would say your best skill is your ability to persuade, to convince management of the action to take. And as you all know, it's not really easy, because top management is quite focused on the bottom line. And many times sustainability action gets either forgotten or canceled, or the first budget item to be cut is yours.
So there'll be some interesting skills around tackling that. Just a clarification maybe here. I think that the green team came up with the two, with commitment from the management and buying in. But if I correctly remember, buying in was more around consumers and individuals, right? So there are the two aspects of the buying in, and you're right, is the buying in of the business leaders and the buying in of the whole society, if anything. So individuals like all of us.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
That's very interesting. And probably the skills are slightly different on how to secure the buying in of the leaders in businesses and then individuals. Interesting. Anybody else?
I have a question, because I heard, like, when we were talking about system thinking, like how each person commented on it, and thinking of what we said about common vocabulary. I would like to make sure that we all have the same understanding of this. So the way I understand system thinking is not necessarily the educational part about what system thinking is, but the educational part about how to apply it. So that we need basically information, and we need the field research, and we need the opinions from all kinds of perspectives in order to understand how one action may have an implication on other fields, that it's not necessarily a straight line, but it's via. Is this correct? That we have a...
The team who came, the green team who came with systemic thinking.
Yeah, it was my team, the green team.
Oh yeah, Dora, right, you were in the green.
Yeah, so this is how I have it in my mind, that we are talking about a system and not linear connections. So that means that we need multidisciplinary teams, we need field research, and we need information from various aspects in order to connect all of this together and see how they interact. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think
is this a common understanding of everyone?
Got a few thumbs up, so
yes, correct.
Okay.
But it's also, from my perspective, it's also a fact that it's not, it's a change in a whole process, not only in one part of a process, in procurement, in production, in delivery, in whatever. It's the whole interaction of the different circle of or the different networks of production.
Okay. Then I would like to address a question to the first I think it was Alina who mentioned that it will take many years to incorporate the young people into it. So can you understand a little bit better where you were coming from?
Where I'm coming from?
I mean, like with this question that young people, it will be more difficult for them to get involved in this methodology, let's say. Why do you think so?
I'm coming from Romania, and I have an agency who is dealing with CSR and sustainability rankings. So this is, I think this is even a more complex area than just CSR, because you have to really understand the standards, and when you start reading about them, it's really confusing at first. And then you need to, we also have a development, an IT guy who works in our team, because we also need software skills for this. We need to make a lot of calculations in order to rank the companies depending on how their performance compares between each other and so on. And I'm looking for collaborators and people who can help me in this. I'm looking for people who have just finished university, or people who are juniors, or even people who are seniors. But when I meet people who are juniors or are only just starting their career, I see them, they are very confused. The more I tell them about what I'm doing, they are even more confused, and so on. And some of them are just, this is just too complex for me. And they go to something that is easier for them at the beginning of the career.
I see. So this whole system thinking for them is like a little bit overwhelming.
It's overwhelming at first. I lost some people who are very well prepared. It was just too much for them. I could see them in their eyes.
I see. Thank you very much for your
yourself. Corina,
I think we've been, thank you very much. Now you hear me. Thank you very much, Alina and Dora. I think that at some point in time, at the beginning of our careers, we all have been in this situation, not understanding what's about and asking around and trying to grasp more education. But with this, I would like to invite you to think of the second exercise number 2. But before starting, I would like just to repeat what would be those 3 most voted results. And I will say it like it is here. So education and system thinking is 1. Yes? Say yes if you agree. Then the second would be management commitment and buy-in from leaders. Everyone agrees. And the third is to change habits, buy-in from individuals. This would be the 3 big, I would say, challenges and opportunities that we have to go into the next exercise. Everyone agrees, yes? Okay, perfect. So,
Corina, I'm just wondering, Corina in the group, I'm just wondering, would you like to, without complicating, would you like maybe to add the business acumen? Because that's quite, or we stay with the, what do you think, Corina? Stay with simple 3?
I would, from me, business acumen, it's what it's needed in order to navigate through these challenges. But maybe if you feel we need to have it, we can make it another nomination. What do you think?
The same to get the commitment from management.
Okay, so we stay with the top 3 without the business acumen.
Looks to be the same.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to create the rooms again. Is there more briefing needed for the?
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, and the second exercise, we will do a similar thinking like we did in the first exercise. Now we have these 3 main challenges, opportunities that you came with. You will have 10 minutes to brainstorm. Then you will see, and you will be divided in teams. I don't know if you will be the same teams, probably not. But
I think they're in the same teams.
Okay, you will be in the same team with the same color. So, once you start the exercise, you have 10 minutes to brainstorm. After that, Zoom will bring you to the main scene, because this is how Zoom works. And then you will go back for the next 10 minutes of prioritization. It's the same process we've done in the first exercise. At the end of this exercise, we need to see together what are those concepts that you have, so those skills that you have decided that are good in order to navigate these challenges and opportunities we just voted. Do you have any questions? Is everybody okay with it?
What is the
I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Yes, please. Alina, please.
Okay, I'm not clear what is the subject of this. So what is the subject now of our
Yes. So the second exercise is called define top 3 skills that you need in order to navigate the challenges and the opportunities you have decided at the first exercise.
Okay, yeah? Top 3 skills.
Yes. Stefan, is this okay for you too? Great. Okay, then let's go into the rooms. Yes.
Just a quick one. I actually managed to reshuffle the teams, so you meet other people in the group.
Perfect. That's really good.
So I'll open the rooms now, and you can go. You have 10 minutes.
So. Okay, thank you, each and every one of you, for your wonderful work we've done in the breakout rooms. I have assisted some discussions. Well, let's perhaps start with each team presenting their findings, and then we will continue with the discussion. I will also like to ask you if you would like to stay a little bit longer, if the discussion is interesting for you. Just let me know, raise the hand. We will continue the meeting. We will not close it, And so let's start with the first team. Who wants to be the first? Maybe the yellow team. Somebody who is dressed in yellow, perhaps?
Okay.
Okay, let's start with you. If the team agrees, of course. It's no pushing from my side.
That's okay.
Okay, we have many skills. The conversation was going on, and at some point we realized that we really need supermen and superwomen in CSR. So we need communication skills, also persuasion skills we found. Then science communication skills, to interpret data, first of all, to understand science-based data, and then to interpret and to communicate it further. Of course, we need language skills. It's very important to know English, but also other languages. And as a parenthesis, in Romania, it's very difficult to find translators to translate from English sustainability information to Romanian. It's not so easy. Also, project management skills is very important, because we really need to understand that when we talk about project or programs, even community investment programs, it's a lot about project management, and it's less about philanthropy. Of course, negotiation skills, leadership skills, strategic planning and organizational skills, that's very important. Team management skills, ability to speak to all levels of people when we have a community and there are many stakeholders. Some of them are top management, some of them are just simple workers. Each of them is important. Also, hard-working skills. We just came to the conclusion that somebody who works in sustainability really needs to do a lot of work, to study a lot of standards and references, and also the standards are changing every year. So understanding how they change and why they change and so on. Also synthesizing information, prioritizing subjects, stakeholder management, empathy, and personal development. You really you need, it's challenging for ourselves also.
Very good. Very good. It's such an impressive array of skills that I can agree with you. It's like being sort of super human. Let's go perhaps to, before we get later on in discussion, let's go to the next team. Who wants to be the next? Maybe the red. The red team. Does anyone want to share?
Stefan?
Okay. So we agree with all these different kind of skills that the yellow team just presented, because it's things like this. So we just prioritize the things about storytelling skills, the way to tell a good story and to be able to persuade. Another one was related with the research skill. So this need to implement interdisciplinary approach, and also a way it's based to change skill, how to engage people in different way of behavior. And there were also building a business case, negotiation skills, making an LCA, so a life cycle assessment about solution. And there is also kind of tools that may be used, but it's mainly around the way to tell a good storytelling, a good story, I would say.
All right, I understand. Thank you, Stefan.
Is it okay for the other red meet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are absolutely okay with you. So let's go to the next team. Who wants to present?
I can present on our behalf, but Mihaela, feel free to chip in. So very much along the same lines. Our first, so we prioritized into three. First one is to be a communication wizard. So I think this relates to being a bit of a superhero. And this is, as we've all said, a question of interpreting or translating technical or scientific information that is engaging, tells a story and brings people along in a way that can turn words into action. So there's a bit of magic there. The second one is to stay adaptable, fluid. A lot of us are specialists, a lot of us are generalists. We often have to form teams, work in different teams, different environments. And in such a fast-paced and dynamic working environment where there's innovation happening and constant change, and we're trying to drive change, I think we all need to stay open-minded and be willing to evolve. And the third one is to do with leadership. And and being able to articulate a common vision and bring people along on that journey while staying empathetic to different backgrounds, without, you know, kind of not being judgmental about wrong and right, but bringing people in, leading them along the way. Does that sound okay? Mihaela, have I covered it? Okay.
I guess the team agrees with you. So now a few questions, maybe a few questions to you now that we've made the exercise. So what would you do or implement? What would you start with today or tomorrow to implement from what we have discussed now? Very, very quickly, what comes in your mind right now when you know we have had such an intensive and so many skills that we come up with? For sure, we didn't manage to see what are the top three, but for each one of you, I'm sure that you already have in your mind the sort of your next task for today or for tomorrow. When you think of the skills you want to implement, what would be? What would you start with?
I look at so many skills and I don't think I can take a decision tomorrow. I think I need 1 week just to decide what are the best 3 skills for this. It's
Okay.
really amazing.
Yes, thank you.
That's exactly what was my feeling, is kind of, you need to look at them and, okay, what's priority? What could I, what's the most meaningful thing for me in what I do that I can develop from those. But what was interesting is hearing you already have a very good list, kind of a short list. So suddenly it's not like this big list of, oh, where am I going? Where do I start from? At least it's short listed, and it's like, okay, this is interesting. It's aligned with the, the things I actually need. So for the next, let's say, a year, just to start from somewhere. Or maybe where could I make the biggest impact? Like, which one it is.
Anyone that wants to say something?
I was really interested in storytelling, as it applies to sustainability. I thought that quite, I didn't expect that, and I am pleasantly surprised with it. So I would think that probably will be the first thing that I will dig in, because storytelling will go into all the other items. If you're communicating, if you're negotiating, you may go also, leaders also need to be excellent storytellers. So I think that's a good item right there to develop.
Thank you very much for that. Anyone wants to join the discussion or has something that will start with it in the next week, let's say, or this week? It's not over yet. Or you want to think over the weekend?
Can I say something? Hi. Personally, I would say networking skills, building relationships. That's something that is ongoing, but very important to me right now that I'm starting a new project, so I need to reach to different stakeholders and are
Okay, so you will now start looking at prioritizing your stakeholders, learning what their needs are, talking with them, and finding out.
And communicating with them what we are going to do and how they can, what we can do for them and what they can do for us as well.
Absolutely, it must be a win-win situation always.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So, if nobody else wants to give maybe some final thoughts or some final comments.
Yeah, maybe about the storytelling. Actually,
yes,
It's an ongoing project. We are preparing a conference, and we will be 3 different people. And I really like this ongoing project because I'm biologist, but there is in the team there is one woman that is economist, and another one which is bioenergetician. And actually, with these 3 profile, I think we cover everything, almost everything. We need also different people to be involved, but we are preparing a conference about how to change organization into living organism. And I will advise you to make it, because when we are working together, it creates 1 + 1 = 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, Stefan, that's a wonderful, perhaps, invitation for all of us. Just give us the details, perhaps in the chat, or maybe later to us, and I can share to everyone, because we would love to know more about storytelling and this concept of regenerative. So if you have some details, you can put them in the chat right now.
Yeah, we are building the conference. And we have a coach from TEDx that is helping.
Perfect. So then give us a sign, an email, send it to me or to Ioana, and we will make sure that everybody gets the invitation to the conference. We would love to hear. And by the way, because we are here together in the same, we are in the same room, we are in the same pot, let's say, we all need these skills. Why just do not share maybe the contact of each other or the details, how we can work together? It would be great to stay and to discuss how we can build these skills. And I guess the easiest way to build skills is not only to work together, but to do it, sharing different ideas and maybe different resources. You might know, Stefan, about storytelling you could share with us, or maybe with others that want to learn this, or perhaps Alina could be also sharing us other ideas about what her work doing in Romania. So I would really enjoy that we can stay in contact and share and leave this workshop, this small workshop, with this feeling that we have met wonderful people today, that we can stay in contact, we can share ideas, perhaps at what time in the future we can even collaborate. And if there is no other things to say, Ioana, perhaps from your side, you would like to add something? If not, then I would say we've done a wonderful workshop. I personally am very happy about how things went with you. We tested for the first time some tools, and I'm hoping that you had a good time here, a fun time here, meeting, talking to each other, and that these findings of what we need as skills for the future will not only stay on a list, that we take the weekend or maybe the next week to look really and to see what we can start with as soon as possible. Because outside, it's a very demanding world. It's a very high competition in sustainability. You all know that. So we need to really build us up to face these challenges and to take these opportunities ahead of us. Thank you very much for your participation, and I'm looking forward to meet with you again, maybe in the next opportunity of a workshop. Let's see.
Thank you, Corina. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. It was really thought-provoking, and I feel like I've got some, definitely some kind of digesting of all this.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to hear this. You will all receive the recording, and you will stay with what was discussed today, not to be missed. I'm happy
I've just given my wrong email address.
Is it wrong?
No, it's okay. Yes, it's gmail.com.
This is nice. This is about sharing our contacts, right?
Oh, well, hopefully we can work it out.
So, okay, so let's share maybe some other more contacts here.
I guess we can circulate after the...
Absolutely. I will save the chat also with...
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm saving it right now. And so you will also have the emails.
I do, sorry, I do have a question because we have a couple of minutes to all of you in the group. I mean, this was a little test. You know, let's see in a very short amount of time how we can put our brains together and came up with something that is really challenging. Like, what are the biggest challenges, the most important skills? So you did a great job, by the way. I went through the groups, and thank you for being so patient with us and with the technology. Now, moving forward, I mean, I think we all had some learning, some mini aha moments or bigger aha moments. What would be helpful to you is like, I hate this kind of workshops where you take something, you go implement, and then, you know, nothing's happened. Maybe it's not a moment to answer now, but is there anything that will be helpful to you, for example, to pick one of the skills that, or some of the skills, and then go even further, like how can you develop that? Where do you find them? Or, you know, something like this. So I don't know if you have already an idea now, or if not, you know, you can drop us an email. So we're happy to, you know, continue the discussion in whatever direction you think it will be helpful. I know you all have to digest the 2 hours today, but I just wanted to throw that out there, just in case. It was great meeting you all. It was really, really nice going around the groups and knowing more about you and the ideas.
It was nice meeting you too, and thank you for the opportunity. I don't know where else I would have had the opportunity to talk with people from so many countries and diverse backgrounds. So it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
I have a couple of ideas. One is that you first of all, thank you for the initiative. It wasn't easy, you know, to decide and do it. So maybe this should be repetitive, you know, as on your pace, maybe quarterly or every once in a while, and then you can generate more participation.
Corina,
but for
are
the
you up to that?
Yes, I already heard this. What Abdelhafid said. Yes, I think that yeah, perhaps we need such sort of workshops or meetings, you know, regularly, because I agree with Dalina. There are not many places where you can talk and freely discuss. There are a lot of maybe other solutions, webinars, but you know, to have this opportunity to communicate with each other and to hear what you need, what I need, what everyone needs, and then coming up with a, you know, even some thoughts, even some skills you will look at, maybe in the future some opportunities where we can go and grow, because the idea is to grow. As I said, it's a very challenging world outside in sustainability field. It's not easy.
So
I also actually in the room when we were discussing communication, Corina actually challenged us because we were saying superior communication skills internally and externally, but she kept pushing, and I think that's the item that probably needs to be taken further, because there is so many levels of communication.
Yes.
Sustainability professionals operate at, and also there's so many facets of it. So levels, facets, and tactics, you know, what tools you use, storytelling, and so on and so forth. I think that's maybe, you know, sustainability communication would be the next subject. And I would think that, you know, it sounds so simple when you say communication, but there is so much to it for sustainability professionals that probably needs to be broken down, so to help professionals themselves, but also their own management to find a, you know, a way to help them.
Yes, I fully agree with you, Abdel. Difficult. It's of course depending on the area where you work in a certain industry, in a certain you know, place in a certain country. So it comes also on top of this, it comes also the way how people in that place discuss, how do they understand each other and so on. but it's difficult, and sometimes we did it. If I look at my past, I did it sometimes when I started. I did it because everybody else did it the same way, and then I copied their way, and then I start, okay, why do I do like this? Is it any other way to do it? Perhaps I need to read more, I need to investigate more, I need to learn. It's not easy, and we didn't have, perhaps some of us didn't have any formal education, something to educate you to be a communicator. Perhaps you're in this role because you are in this role because you're passionate about, because you were nominated for it. But how do you grow there? Maybe you don't have a mentor, maybe you don't have somebody to support you and to help you. And then perhaps you're lost sometime. You have so many things to do, and we see so many skills to have, but who helps you in doing this? You're alone. So the purpose of today was perhaps beyond giving you clarity, what is it that we need to maybe learn to grow? It's also not to feel so alone. I guess this is important, to feel like a community. We are here, we can be a community where we can discuss this often enough as possible for everybody, and trying to support each other, because there is not so much support elsewhere, as far as I know. And we have so many challenges ahead of us. Yeah. Thank you very much for your wonderful comment.
If I may add something about it, it's important for you to find people with the same mindset just in your nearby network. Find people, because there is already a lot of existing network, like the Transition Town Network, like the network about eco-psychology from Joanna Massey, like the XR also. It's important to be connected with these people and get support from them. Otherwise, you can go to burnout, simply. I just did it last year. And so it's important to keep the internal ecology clear also, to see what is happening inside.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan. It's very well said.
And we are not alone.
You see, we are not alone. We are here, and who knows? In the future, we can be even more being part of such workshops, such wonderful discussions. All right.
Well,
thanks, Esther. You've been so silent all this workshop.
I know. It's because I noticed that I need to up my game in terms of communication and language as well, in the vocabulary of it, because I'm just on the tech part and the manual part. So I've been listening very carefully, and thank you all for your input. And I forgot what I wanted to ask. Oh yes, does everybody who came here through the Facebook group or the Facebook post you put in Circular Economy?
No, so the Impactors community is a Facebook group. Not everybody who's here is actually in the group, but if you like to join the Impactors community, we're going to send a link as a follow-up. It's specifically for those who are interested in using marketing as a lever for growth. So it's a community, it's a small community, engage. I'm hosting that community, so I have also small lessons, if you like, small classes, marketing for impact, and workshops like this that are not necessarily inside the group, because we just want to, to expand it to a larger audience. But I'll send the link for whoever wants to join. It's all free. You can join.
Yeah, and today was like the first time we exercised this workshop in this context, coming from the original idea. What do we need as sustainability consultants, or experts or entrepreneurs? What kind of skills, in general we need, but also from the fact that we work with so many projects. In some places, like the place I'm from, there is no job description even existing for sustainability professionals. So what we do, it's something that we like to do. We find resources work in these positions, but we don't really have something to build us for it. So this is how I approached Ioana, and I said, okay, would it be appropriate to organize something for people who are interested, who are like-minded, to discuss a little bit what we need in order to grow in our profession? That was the original idea, and I'm so happy that many of you have decided that you also believe in this idea that we need to grow and we need to face whatever challenges we have outside. And from this, I'm sure perhaps in the next topics, I already made some notes about sustainability communication, but I'm sure that other topics will come up. And I would say this can be something useful for all of us, perhaps beyond the learning factor, also to talk with each other and to learn how it's going in your country, in your profession, in your industry, what challenges do you have, and you know, to find solutions. Who knows? You know, today we just discussed the skills, but it can be in a broader sense also to take in a more appropriate and more personal, perhaps, what is it that we need in order to grow from case to case, from country to country, from industry to industry. And I'm sure you have already something in your mind, but let's keep it for the next time, perhaps.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Super. Thank you again, Corina. That was great.
Thank you, Ioana. Thank you, everybody who came today.
Everybody.
thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.